Hello everyone, what a wonderful day for an update. It's been a while, actually it's been 2 weeks or something, but we are still under full steam working on things. I will show you some of the things I promised today. I said in the last update that we're going to look at the mountains. They look great already, we will check them out. We will also see some of the weather and the district system already being in place. Of course, all alpha under development. You will see that some things visually change. You see the sun going up right now. We worked on the lighting a little bit, but let us just jump right into it and keep this as short but as informative, yeah, that's an English word, as possible. Let's just go. You might have noticed immediately the grass changed again. We did that because we needed better performance, and also the new grass just looks great. This is created differently. It is still work in progress. We're going to work on the color, on the density a little bit. It looks great though, it works much better, and the game runs much smoother. You already see the district system now. Homeland Fields is where we are now. And let me show you something else, and then I'll explain what the district system is, because it is going to start to rain very soon. We are entering a district that is in a different weather. Let me just run up here. I actually have to figure out which district it's raining in. I would assume it's the Piper's Whistle one. If it isn't, we can find another one. Ah, it's over here to the right. So, the district system basically is a system that we use to define and determine certain areas on the map, their behavior, and that includes, I think I have invincibility, yeah, so I can just jump down here, and how they change the environment. So that applies to effects like, do you get cold, do you get warm? There is also rain that makes you go wet. Currently we're in sunshine. We will see mist today. Like, I'll go into a foggy area basically. It's like misty foggy. We entered Highfield right now. At the top left you see it again. This system is so essential to us because it will in the future define how you build your bases, where you build them, and what influences if you build or if your outfit is perfect for this environment. Let's say we're building in this environment, it's very sunny, rain is very rare. You can build with wood, for example. It is quick, it is efficient, and it is very good at not rising in temperature too much. Then there is other buildings that get very warm, for example, in sunlight, so they might not be as desirable to build in these environments. We will tell you more about that once we bring that in, once the buildings are more affected by it. It also affects deterioration on buildings, but let us run into the hills. They are still work in progress, but I hope we'll be able to see a different weather effect. If not, we will definitely just run around the map. Cause, little disclaimer, I am not currently... Ah, there it is. Ooh, we're actually lucky because it is a dust storm. At night, these are scary currently. This is one of the extreme weather conditions. This will, of course, result in damage to the player, damage to buildings. It is a lot harder to navigate, as you see. That arrival looks super spooky over there. All environments have these extreme weathers. Oh, damn, that looks so cool. That holotop's running around here like a whole herd. You can see them. Also, here, that effect of the grass really shines where we have different heights and everything. We will also see something about creatures today, but let's get to that when we get there. Yeah. Anyways, you see we are changing things about the weather. This is, as I said, an extreme condition. It's not always like this in the hills. It is just something that we for now have as an extreme condition that has, I think, like a 15% percentage, which is pretty high, to be honest. Like, the hills are now a lot more dangerous. And we are still working on being able to see it from the distance. As you see, when I walk here, you can not really see it. It just starts coming in. We are working on it. We are trying to figure out how to make that work better. I cannot promise that it works in early access as we intend already, but it will definitely work to some degree. I'll turn on my little speed sheet because I want to head over here. Also, yeah, oh, you haven't seen all the fields. All the fields now have fences. They all have islands now. We'll run through a lot more of them in a moment. Also running through here. You might have already seen some of the hairstyles, but still, I always like to stop by, say hello to all the other people here. I will go up here because I want to show you the vista of the mountains, as that changed quite significantly. Here are the mountains to the right. We will visit them in a moment actually, so that you can see them. That's the mountains to the left in the distance. They also already changed quite a bit. They are not as decorated as the northern mountains, but I will show you that in a moment. Also work in progress. Our new bridges are in. A lot of visual changes now. Oh, where? Damn, here's a cool weather change. Like, of course, these will be a lot smoother in the future, but here it is raining now. But yeah. The bridges are in, there's a lot of them, I'll show you different types. This is one of my favorites, to be honest, super pretty, super cool. We'll actually see a jump puzzle-like bridge when we run over here. Ah, different music immediately starts. That is mostly affecting ambience. As I said, currently the districts are also the districts that follow the naming order. It is confusing now, just it is an alpha. A lot of things work in progress. Just be aware that they will work differently. You don't have to tell me that it is not good that the music goes on and off all the time. We know, we will change that. It is just for testing purposes. Let me run over here, because the prettiest way to cross this river is right over there. And then we can also see the mountains, and I can most likely, unless we're currently doing something to the AI, show you the first AI that changed a little bit in the way that it fights. Oh, also this is so pretty. Look at those mountains. Oh, we're gonna visit them in a moment. This looks so cool. Oh yeah, we're also working on the NPC spawner more. There is a lot more enemies again on the map. They behave differently. In the next one, there will also be different types finally of these. We are already working on a fields type for these Toriva that just looks different, has a different color to it. Ooh, yeah, it's a little bit of hills, also a storm here. So cool. I think we have to actually cross here, because that's now the only way from here to the mountains. And then we can do a little running and jumping puzzle. Oh, damn, it is so cool. This is one of the more decorated mountain regions. A little disclaimer. We got a lot of feedback from you players that you did like the idea of the mountains, but you didn't like them. That was because we didn't work on them yet, really. This is a completely overhauled version of the mountains. This is the northern mountains on the map, close to where Megalos was located, the gigantic dinosaur. Let me see if I can do the jump. Hell yeah, I did. Perfect, because otherwise I would have had to climb up here or go back. Also, a good example, if you would drop in that water, we hope to achieve it in early access already, you get wet. Being wet in a cold environment, temperature is already in, it's just not linked up to the status effects. You will most likely see that in the next or the presentation after that. But being wet, having to go into the mountains, kind of sucks. So if you miss that jump, sucks for you. Okay, oh, they're back to... No, they're not back to normal size. For some reason, these guys are super gigantic right now. I'm not entirely sure why. But anyways, let us run in. There is so much you haven't seen that. There's these tiny trees now. There's big trees. None of these are like fully harvestable yet. We still have to use the right ones. But it looks so cool. We are lucky and the sun is shining. We might run actually into snow, because there is a pretty high chance of snow and a very low chance of sunshine. Maybe we are lucky and we haven't implemented that yet. Also, oh, that little windmill done by our lead David, who just put some pieces together. It's a very cool way of showing this is all parts that we originally made for the windmill and that are now completely different. Yeah, please ignore if stuff is flying or like stuff is looking weird. Oh, it's so pretty. God, I love this environment. Also imagine this with snowfall, and look at those gigantic crystalline trees. We hope to bring the crystals in for early access. We might not be able to, but we'll bring them in quite like a little bit later. Also super cool that you can see the beam. I know I'm saying very often how pretty this is, but this is just... When we make these environments, we basically sit down, plan everything, make a lot of 3D assets, and then within a week, everything comes together, and you're blown away as someone who's not directly involved in level design by how quickly these things turn out to look so awesome. Oh, so cool. Like a little path, you can go over there and hunt these moss deer. We will have icy moss deer, just as a disclaimer. All these animals that feel kind of weird in their environments will be adjusted so that they actually fit. Oh, damn, yeah, we're gonna come to the ice lake in a moment. Still work in progress, but this already looks so good. Ooh, the night is coming. I hope we will not run into a storm. Oh, damn, look at this. So cool, completely different environment now. Ignore the resources and everything that is still going to be placed. Also the NPC positions, not final. You might have already seen, or we will see in a moment, some cave entries. Caves will not be an early access. They are one of the few regions that we can easily bring in shortly after the launch. So be prepared that there will be a lot more around and in these. We ran into a problem though. These little paths. We are now stuck in between. Do we want to make the map pretty, or do we want to keep it as open world as possible so that no one can block stuff off? We will most likely just put no build zones on these so that these paths can not just easily be blocked off. We will come up with better solutions, maybe something like ravines or stuff blowing it away, but we are a small studio. We want to get this into your hands. So just be aware that there might be a lot more zones that are like this, like narrow paths that you can't build on. Don't be surprised by that. It's just so that we keep the map accessible for everyone. You will still be able to build a town here though, for example, and you can still build over there. There's actually like a secret little... I'll not tell you. Like you will find out yourself. Anyways, music coming up again. It's not the mountains music, still it is very pretty. So cool. Damn. I actually like these guys so big. Kind of feels cool. These have not been reworked yet, so they're still super easy to dodge. We will eventually run into Grizz though, which will feel completely different. Ooh. Little pathway. Super cool. As I said, ignore that the music is turning on and off all the time. Oh, so cool. You can go over here. Look down here a little bit. Ah, the shield is still breaking off there. Interesting. But yeah, somewhere behind that tree is Megalos. Let's just continue our journey into the mountains. You should still be able to see everything, because to be honest, we made the night a lot brighter. It shouldn't be a problem at all currently for you to see something here. And if not, editor, just crank up the brightness a little bit. So, did we miss the... Ah, it's down there, the cave entrance. He blocked it off a little bit. Because we already at the cave... Oh, damn. So pretty with the lights down there. That's so much to explore. How much time? 15 minutes. Oh, we can take that. Oh, did I get stuck? No. I will still take my time to explore with you. Because this is really pretty, and even at night it is fun. I think it is even cool to explore at night. You might not be able to fully see the trees. And we haven't bring in the glow effect. These crystals will have a slight glow to them. I'll not tell you what this is. You'll have to find out yourself. But... that is an ice grizz. Frost Mane will be the name in the future. Oh, what was that? Ah, ambient sounds are in. I was like, ooh. Let us see if this guy has the new attacks. Because these guys are a lot more scary now. Or is he in work now? Because they got a charge. Oh, there. You can already see the telegraph system coming in. It's a very basic shape of it. It will change a lot. In the next one you'll see a lot more, but you just saw that line. Which of course, now it's quite fast. It is work in progress, but it is an indicator of what that creature is about to do, which will allow you in the future to dodge certain attacks they are doing. They are not as easy to run away from anymore, because you can just, if you run away too far, they will at some point do that charge attack. A gap closer, basically. There it is. It is a system that we will use so that everyone that is fighting an enemy knows what that enemy is going to do next. We will also use these telegraphs, that's the name for that red area on the ground, to some degree for players. So when you do abilities, you can see it. Of course, as I said, they're going to be not as fast. You will have a lot more time to dodge them, to react to them. It is just for purpose of showing it a little bit right now. Super cool. It is a huge improvement to how our AI works. They will also get faster. You immediately notice it is not as easy to run away from them anymore as soon as they get these abilities. A little sneak peek, basically. I was not prepared to be able to show you something that might have come in yesterday evening, which is great for me. Oh, damn, there's another. A crash. I've not had that in centuries. Wow. What a fight. I killed every single enemy here, and now there is no problem at all. Okay, maybe the game crashed. But let's just act as if it didn't happen. Cool. Let's just continue. I'm exactly where I left off. It's just day. because the server restarted, so it was actually a server crash, or maybe someone updated the server. That is also possible, and I'm just thinking it's a crash. But anyways, let us just immediately get up here. Luckily, this is my only server, my own server, so my bridge, like this, is generally not here. You would actually have to build this to get up here. We have included some of these where it's kind of impossible. Oh, I should make myself invincible again, by the way, I just realized. Where it's kind of impossible to go to certain places. There is also, this is called the pile. Very cool little area. This is still work in progress, but as you see, there's like a pile of rocks here. Maybe you can now go up there, maybe you can't, we'll see. This thing, what it means. Maybe keep an eye out on our blog posts, maybe there's more explanation on that. But we are rewarded with an amazing vista. You can see the mossies down there. It's starting to snow. You can see the little tower over there. Actually, we are gonna go there in a second. But to do that, I will have to drop down here. Luckily, I'm invincible, so that is actually not too much of a problem. Because otherwise, this might be too much fall damage. And I would have to use jumping. Like building, sorry. Let's get down here. Oh, also there's sunshine here, much nicer. This is an interesting one, because down there you would have to build to get over that gap. And our level designers originally intended this to be not jumpable, but if you're skilled enough, you can. I'm so proud of myself, because I did that in the playtest yesterday and it was like, oh damn. I'll not go up there, just explore that for yourself. I'll just go here because I want to show you something in this area, because there is a completely other environment here. Super cool, these like icicles popping out of the ground. There will possibly even more of those come in. And there's a frozen waterfall right there. So cool, really, really pretty. Oh, yes, we have to be careful. There's more of these guys. There's a little plateau down here. There's so much to explore. I'm even showing you half of what's here. There's paths up there. There is paths up there. You can go behind some of these icicles or these rocky cliffs. And whenever you feel like, oh, I found everything, these mountains open up even further and show you even more. So cool. Like, for example, here, where there's an ice lake suddenly appearing. Really, really cool. Go over here so you can actually see it. Super cool. Ooh, I haven't even seen that. What is that? Generally, I think you get the idea. This is still undecorated, by the way. This is the first draft that our level designers do, and then more and more comes in. So, basically, we are right now putting a lot more effort into making these environments more interesting to traverse, more interesting to build in, and with the district system and the weather that is already in place, but will soon also have effect on the character and also build structures, it will be a lot more challenging to not only get resources from certain environment, but also live in certain environments. And sometimes it might make a lot of sense to move there, because also the death penalty is coming in. So if you die somewhere, you lose what you just gathered and have to go back all the way and pick it back up. Without a town, oh damn. Without a town, that might be very, ooh, damn. Oh, that's interesting when there's so many of them. Oh, these guys won't attack, come on. As you see, some of these AIs, oh, don't do yet what we hope that they do one day. Oh. But I think the telegraphing system will be one of the most interesting. Also, a disclaimer. We will next sprints are the 2-week units we work in, and at the end we hope to achieve always something that is either immediately playable or at least close to playable. We will next sprint finally start working on the combat system. It is quite similar still to what you experienced in the alpha, but a lot will change on that. We will completely change how dynamic it feels. We have heard your feedback. I said it in the last one. We know that the wind up and the strike and the recovery phase, which is like the 3 phases which an attack happened, before it happens, when it actually happens, and how long it takes before you can do another one. We have heard you. We also agree it doesn't feel as good as it should. So we'll focus on that and try to show you more so that you can actually enjoy it. I think there's also a really nice vista here. Oh yeah, damn. So nice. We will also finally come in with maybe already a glimpse at the skill system. You have asked about it a lot, and it is kind of hard. Oh, I'm invincible, right? Yeah. It is kind of hard and vague to even tell you what it does. Oh, so this is work in progress, of course, but really cool that there's a little lake now. I can still walk underwater. Over there. You will finally get a glimpse of that. I'll explain how it works, how it is a mix out of a passive system in which you basically do something to get better at it, but at certain points you can also decide which skills you want to pick. It is how you will unlock abilities, skills, recipes in our game. It will hopefully bring in a lot more roleplay elements. Additionally, and this is highly work in progress, we are working on the adventure map. It is now adventure time. I will see if I can port there. I don't think it works on my server. Still, I'll give it a little try. If it doesn't work, we'll see that it doesn't try and it will just crash. The adventure is super important to us. It will be what we will most likely, if we do a playtest, feature in a playtest. As you see, I just got stuck. Anyways, it's pretty anyway and I can just talk. It will be a horde mode. I'll go into a lot more detail when we can finally show it. We've thrown a level designer and a game designer at it. Yeah, that's what I expected, but I'll still log back into the normal game. And next time I'll be able to show you something. This is work in progress. You cannot see the adventure, of course, because as I said, the server is just not online right now. We're working on it internally. And that's also a good point to summarize the changes that happened. Again, mostly level design changes and the district system. You have seen the district system today, not only by the names of places, but also the weather is affected, the audio is affected, the enemies that spawn are affected, your visuals and the effects that will apply to the character. This is a gigantic system. It was kind of a shame that it took so long before it got visible to you, but now finally that is the case. It is there, you can see it. Then I showed you the mountains again. And some general map polish. We'll walk along the river in a moment. I hope if I can actually get back in, because the server might now think, this guy that belongs to the adventure map. There is no adventure map. Anyways, there is a lot of changes on the map from level design side. We're decorating, making things prettier. We have actually worked on crafting a little bit. It is not visible yet, but still. And you have seen the telegraphing system coming in its early stages, which is that those little red lines on the floor. We're working on that continuously because we want to show you very soon that we heard you and fighting will be a lot more fun. Let me just quickly mute the music so that's more easier to understand me. In the next one, you will see a lot more on the district system and how it affects the player. You will see a lot more on adventures. Because adventures are finally coming in, we might actually even be able to show the basic functionality. We press play, it actually starts, we can run around, do things. We might even have to bring in other players to show that properly from our team. Let's see. And then additionally, you can hope to see a little glimpse of the skill system. I try to avoid jumping into in-progress things that are not in the game. We want to show you what we actually did. And I think that's it for today. You've seen a lot of things not working. We had the first server crash, I think, since we did these. And I know I'll get in trouble for trying even to join the adventure map, because I'm pretty sure someone told me don't do that, it might not work. But I'm super excited to share more. I think the steps that you'll see will get bigger and bigger from now on as we are still growing as a team. A lot of people took some time off after the alpha because it was very exhausting, but we are jumping back in. There's been a lot of questions recently on what's the plan, what's the timeline, what's happening next. Just join our Q&A. It is coming up very soon. Thank you so much. Super excited to be on this journey with you. I cannot state enough how thankful we are for the feedback you guys are giving us, the activity you're showing in our Discord. We want to make this game happen with you. It will be a live service game. The early access is not the final product. There will be more and more and more coming in. And a lot of times that is the benefit of that is that your ideas can still influence what this game looks like. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.